exactly one viewer. Hey, Hildrim. I'm sure more people will trickle in shortly. But I guess
Yeah,
may
no
as well
problem.
kick it up. So we've got Moostert Stash and Valea here co-casting with me. Um,
Hello.
so yeah, I'm excited to kick things off. Looks like Dark Elves Rising and Zon Fishing is our
Starting
first
with
victims in week two.
starting with America.
America's, yep, yep. America's a America the only Americas. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
only Americas.
Unlike
What's
college where we had four divisions of Americas.
uh I think they have they're all the way up to like America's E in the current college
Jeez,
season. Yeah, that's massive right now.
bonkers.
It's yeah,
Um,
it's the combination of the quarantine and a sale on the game.
yep.
Uh-huh. Probably a lot of the tabletop people switching or picking up the game just to get their Blood Bowl fix.
There was
And
some
people
other.
were curious.
I think there was some something about the most recent like major Rebels. What's it called? Finals, like the finals, the Super Bowl. Like there was some like big streamer that pulled in a bunch of people as well.
Might have been Jorbs, I think is what his
Oh
name is.
yeah, yeah. That's I think that
Because
was
I
what it
know
was.
Sage was doing like teaching him the game before Sage played the Super Bowl. Kind of like hype himself up and such, like a little chill thing right before the big game.
Yeah, yeah. I think that was what I was remembering was that he had Jorbs
Yeah.
on. All right, so what do we got for this match? We had
Some big
Big
changes.
score game.
yeah,
2-3 in favor of Lofty pulling out the win. First thing I notice, of course, is the strength up Witch Elf dying,
yeah.
which is pretty big.
That's some rough development to lose.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I know the
Welcome in, Lofty.
Yep, I know OpenEye had some concerns about some bloat on his team, so that'll take away
Yeah,
some bloat.
that'll
Yep,
take quite a
yep.
bit out. Oh man,
But
uh, a lot of good levels on his end. Other than losing the strength up, he did level up the movement up Witch Elf,
Yep.
the guard lineman, and just a regular lineman. So that's really nice.
and no
Um,
other permanent injuries other than the death, so
uh-huh. On Lofty's side, he does have the movement busted line woman, but there's no development on that line woman, so they'll
that's an
probably be
easy fire.
promptly. Yep,
Yeah.
yep, very
Yep.
easy fire. Lofty picking up 3 levels in that game as well is really nice. Um, one on a guard blitzer is going to be super nice, and the killer
The killer
blitzer as
piece.
well.
Yeah,
Probably going to see what piling on there.
I would
Either
imagine.
piling on, or you could make an argument for Dauntless.
Mm.
Hmm.
In my
I think it's
opinion,
going to be piling on because
I
that
would
seems
think
the
most
general
likely,
route.
yeah, most likely piling on,
Mm-hmm.
if not Dauntless.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't see much else.
And the level on a rookie line woman as
Oh,
well.
Lofty's given us apparently. Wait, she got tackle. Killer got. Oh, the killer got guard. Interesting. So he's up to now two tackle guard pieces, one of which is the killer.
They do
Mm.
recommend a lot of the Amazon coaches making all the pieces that can be guard pieces.
Right. I mean that helps with the strength, with the lack of high strength pieces, certainly. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Failed to update my Twitch stream.
But I think if you committed to the killer, I think you'd have grabbed the guard earlier if you were going to go that route.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think
Well, we just started
having a
red
tackle
fight.
mighty blow is
It's super nice
not
early
bad,
on to get the
even if you've
removals.
got guard.
Getting removals in a game is always pretty nice. I remember that's one reason I was kind of struggling with my humans is that I just didn't have a mighty blow piece for the longest time, and I went up against like wood elves, and I just didn't really remove many pieces. because I was lacking the Mighty Blow.
That's the same reason I think the piling on might have been the better pick there too, though,
Mm-hmm.
as that's going to help you in your AV9 matches.
Right. He probably just wants to get the guard game going, which I completely understand. That's something I was shooting for with my humans as well. And I finally have all of my blitzers except for the killer piece does block or guard now. So, super nice. Anyways, back to the game. As Lofty said, it looks like it was a 2-0 score in favor of OpenEye. That's crazy that you're able to bring it to a 3-2 win, though. That's crazy. They were able to come right, or one of you was able to come back.
Especially with not that many removals, all told.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I guess 4 KOs in addition to the 4 Kaz on the Dark Elves, but like that's still. I'm curious what the how it played out to get essentially 3, well, maybe 2 steals in a half.
Part of the game, but I had caught the back half of it, so it was already. By the time I was watching it, it was already like Lofty's game.
I'll probably go and watch that just to scout out these 2 coaches I'm about to face back to back. I think I have OpenEye this week, and I can't remember which Amazon team I have after that.
I think you have me actually.
You in the next week?
I think I think you have me in week 4.
Yep, and then Lofty. Yep. Anyways, yeah, this seemed like a pretty cool game that I'm probably gonna go check out. Probably tomorrow. But that's gonna suck a lot for OpenEye. Losing that strength up Witch Elf probably hurt.
What's his money look like?
He didn't have very good winnings, that's for sure.
He's got looks like 100K in the bank now.
So I don't think he can. I don't think he can buy a new Witch Elf. I think they're 110.
Are they 110?
110. I think so.
So he's just shy of having a new one right now.
Yep.
Which is super nice for me. I mean, I'll take that.
Watch that movement up one get a strength roll also.
It looks like
the movement up got an agility actually.
Because that's clearly better for you.
More strength bloat, or sorry, more stat bloat. Got the big agility up on the Witch Elf. It's an agility up Witch Elf and just block lineman on the guard piece. Very that's standard. I haven't picked anything for the last one.
I think I've rolled like 3 movement ups on my Amazon team and just discarded them.
I kind of regret not taking the movement up on my catcher. My human catcher. Took guard instead. But let bygones be bygones.
I did the same thing on my Amazon catcher. I'm pretty sure I'd hit those double 5s.
I'm not sure I've rolled a single movement up. I might have, or no, a single stat up on my Norse, but I got enough doubles to get guard on block on everyone. So that's.
You got them in the right place then, eh?
Yeah. Yep.
That's the trick. It's not just rolling doubles; it's rolling them where you need to roll.
Yeah.
Right. I think that wraps up that game nicely.
Yep.
Well,
yep.
That's definitely a match I'm going to go back and watch for myself. That leads us into our next game, Super Jail versus Skull Razors, Heldrum and Billions. 0-2 in favor of Heldrum. AV9 not working to Billions' favor this game. I'm seeing 3 Black Orcs were badly hurt, the thrower was badly hurt, and then the rookie blitzer who stole the MVP was agility busted. Ouch.
And there were 4 KOs on top of that.
And 4 KOs? That was just a game where AV9 did not work.
Yeah.
I think part of that not having the bench, because once you get like 1 piece toppling, it doesn't really swing back in your favor. So if that happened early, I didn't catch the game.
Heldrum weighed in saying it was a massacre at turn 4. That definitely sounds like a game where it just got away from Billions really quickly, and Heldrum was just able to walk where he wanted.
I mean, he got a Kaz on a ghoul and a Kaz on a
Mhm.
zombie. Like, those are those are not
Mhm.
pieces you would expect to be taking out Black Orcs. Um,
Right. Yeah, for sure. It was random Kaz's.
That hap-
Uh,
that'll
uh,
happen too. Like
yeah,
you just
well, for sure. Heldrum not coming out of this completely unscathed, though. One of his ghouls taking an armor bust in this
yeah.
match
One of
too.
the four, uh,
One of the four blodges, yeah.
and he got and he got two of the other ones leveled up. So I don't think he's really all that sad about it. I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess.
Heldrum also said that by turn 4, two Blorks were Kaz'd out, and then the thrower GFI'd into a Kaz.
I was wondering about the who the lone Kaz that was not inflicted by Heldrum was.
Yep. And there it was. It was
So
the floor.
yeah,
An Orc's worst enemy, for sure.
I heard about those supposed 4+
Yeah,
GFIs.
the Orca FIs. Almost bit Big A, but we'll get into that when we get there. um, it looks like though, um, yes, Kitty, hi. Billion's picking up 2 nice level ups, one on a Black Orc blocker with block. That's going to be super nice. And unfortunately, the agility bus taking the MVP and gaining a level. You could make a case for keeping that and just having it
Oh
be a
yeah,
guard
that's
piece.
trench fighter.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
you just
don't
won't be
feel
dodging
I don't
anymore.
like
fire it.
you're not dodging with the blitzers anyway. You just that
Not
one
that
doesn't touch
often.
the ball, and
Yeah,
like
he's just a piece that's like a guard piece essentially.
yeah,
I think that's what I would do with it in that
At
case.
the very least, if you plan on firing him, at least just throw him on the line for a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Keep your other guys healthy.
Heldrum coming out of this with whopping 5 levels. One on the block mummy will be super nice to get him even further along. 2 on 2 of the blodge ghouls and 2 on 2 zombies. One of them being a block zombie. Oof. Some
interception on the zombie.
yeah, an interception on the block zombie. That's
Oh man,
always great to see.
the dice were clearly in Super Jail's favor in this match.
Oh, for sure. For
I
sure.
think that. I wonder if it's the same ghoul that intercepted me week 1.
Oh, this was a zombie that intercepted.
Oh, a zombie
Yep,
this time.
the block.
I,
Yep, the block zombie intercepted for the level up.
I think
He
he
is
had
a
a.
hero now. Heldrum
I think
said.
in week 1 I played Heldrum. One of his ghouls picked me off for a level up too.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Heldrum's School just catch it right out of the air. I was like, oh well, that's the end of that drive. There's nothing Valia can do about that one.
Oh, I had guys up based on him. He just rolled a 6.
MVP, unfortunately for Heldrum, landing on a zombie, a lone zombie at the bottom. Overall, this besides those crazy armor breaks at the beginning, it's only 5 armor breaks against Heldrum, and then 11 on what's his name, Super Jail. I mean, all things considered, not that block heavy a game. Is 50 pretty block heavy? I'd say that's pretty block heavy.
Yeah, I feel like 50 is
Getting there.
getting up there. I mean, you can imagine
Especially
that
at this level.
if he was down 3 or 4 players by the 4th turn and snowballing, then maybe like the number of blocks received was probably limited by the number of players who were standing.
Yeah.
I'm sure there could have been some screening going on there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heldrum very clearly showing that making up for his first game with the second game and completely smashing the Orc team. Once again, that's crazy. How many injuries you see on a Orc team. Oof.
Hopefully my ladies can repeat that this week. Because I think I'm up against Super Jail. If I
Yeah,
remember
you're
correctly.
against Super Jail this week. I think that wraps that up.
Yep, I was just pulling up the next one, which is
Cool.
yours, Balea.
0-2 in favor of Aaliyah. Yeah, I watched this one. I
You
believe.
casted this one, I believe.
Yeah, I casted this one. Yeah, I totally watched this because I casted it. Yeah. Come on, Noah. The definitely went in favor of Aaliyah with some of the blocks. AV7 not especially blowing up. All things considered, not too many Kazes on either side. The Kazes that were there were pretty big, like losing the Yeti for actually the Yeti was pretty late
Yeah,
in the
that was.
game losing it. But as
It
I
finally
casted in my
decided to do
game,
something, and then I curb stomped it.
yep. Yeah, if anybody tuned into the cast, I think Hayate actually made the joke every time I complained about the Yeti usage.
He's
Take a shot. Because, I mean, like, on top of that, King Fu was getting super unlucky with his wild animal rolls, that it wouldn't have even mattered if he
Yeah,
had
we were
glitched
joking
them.
about it in the game
Yeah,
as
because
we
he
were
would
playing.
roll. Yeah, he kept rolling ones on it, so it didn't even matter that he
If you would have
wasn't
blitzed it,
blitzing.
yeah.
It would have just been a wasted blitz.
Sounds like my Yeti, like half the time
Oh.
this last game.
Mm-hmm.
Was,
On top of that, losing a block off and losing the strength up runner. The strength up runner, I remember being gone pretty early on.
Yeah, that was
pretty.
gone.
I remember noting that being pretty big when it happened. Valia not coming out of this completely unscathed. Unscathed. The guard catcher MNG. So that's going to be missing next game. One of the all-important guards will be gone, especially in a match where it's going to be it's going to be a match where you gonna wish you had the guard. Pops. Not too heavy on the level ups compared to the last two games. King Fu picking up a level on his killer piece, probably going to be tackle. And then a level on the Agi Blitzer for Valia. Very nice.
I gotta say, looking at the number of blocks taken and then the number of armor breaks you inflicted, Valea, versus the number you received, like
very heavily in favor of Valia.
Yeah,
part of that
tells a
was
tale.
Stomps late in the second half.
Oh, fair.
Started bringing those numbers up. I think it was pretty even. I think I was slightly ahead in the breaks, and I think the stomps kind of jacked those numbers up.
Yep.
The extra part. Yeah, because they did have an even amount of blocks there, so it really, like we said in our last cast, it really came down to whose armor 7 was going to give up first. Because the TV difference was minimal, if I remember correctly. It was pretty much equal.
Yeah, GFIs were the big determining factor in that game. I think I went 10 for 10 on him.
Yeah, you got super lucky with your GFIs. And I don't think he did.
No, he missed 2 in a turn, and that's what cost him his potential tying score.
That's what it was. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember because he GFI'd and he took another GFI that he kind of didn't need to. And Valia just swarmed onto the ball immediately and then just swooped in, picked it up, walked away with it, and that was the end pretty much. And after that, Valia just started removing every single player on the board. It was pretty like oof. It went from King Fu having a chance to King Fu losing. Pretty much. Both coaches getting a decent amount of money from this is very nice. 50,000 for King Fu and 70 for Valia. Super nice.
I think Fu had a decent bank prior to this too.
I didn't spend my money on that either. I already have a level like 3 stadium.
Jesus. There's probably nothing King Fu's really looking for. Maybe another.
He might pick up another lino.
Maybe another runner. You would think.
Yeah, could do a runner. Could do a runner at this point.
get the 13th man on the roster.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm a big fan of the 13-man roster.
Yeah, I feel like that's a pretty comfortable place for Norse to be as well, especially with the dirty player.
Mhm. All right.
All right, what
That
do we got
wraps that up.
next?
Nice. It's Pickles game.
Oh yeah.
Flying Northman, DDoS, if you will. 0-1 in favor of Lead Pipe.
Yep. Uh, I was unable to break much armor was really the I think part of the
Hmm.
problem there. Although I guess I guess that's armor breaks are not telling the same tale, but I guess I just wasn't able to capitalize on it. It was
Mm-hmm.
especially early. I think it was the first half. I struggled to get any removals, and then he fireballed my cage and took I think 4
Oh,
of the 5 pieces out.
oh,
Um,
hey, Fireball actually doing a thing.
oh
Wow.
yeah, it did a thing all right. I think it was like half stunned and then half just on the ground, and then he knocked a few more people out around. He ended up that turn. He ended up scattering the ball to himself, and then not being able to move his ball carrier because he was blocked by an entire row of my people on the ground. Like it was a
That's
full
fun.
a full diagonal of like 5 of my guys, and then his blitzer had the ball like north of that. Um, so that was, but yeah, I just uh, wasn't able to quite stop the score on that. That was on
Hmm.
my drive in the first half.
Description reminds me of a game I had one time. To get the winning score, he had a row of bunch of down guys, and I couldn't do any GFIs or any passes or anything. My only play was to follow one of the pieces and get the removal to run through.
Nice.
It didn't work, but
Yeah.
I was glad I saw it. Naturally, I snaked it, I'm pretty sure. I snaked it or rolled deuces,
Uh,
one or the other,
of course.
and fouled out.
This game was also marred yet like my college season with mechanical uh, mechanical errors. I failed to click a blitz. It's too quiet. Oh no. Who's too quiet?
Oh, I think it's fun.
Yeah, I think Valia, say something.
What's up?
All right. I think we've got audio. Lead pipe. Maybe turn your speakers up. Um,
Oh yeah. Lead Pipe's talking about someone else.
um,
Am I kind of quiet?
I can turn you up a little bit. Hold on. Anyhow, I failed to activate a blitz when I needed
Mm-hmm.
to, and then another
Oh,
time I stood up a blitzer instead of just I like double clicked instead of single clicked, and then couldn't blitz with him. Uh, it was sad times. Um,
Yeah, I think I've done it one too many times now.
yeah,
Where I think I always right click my blitz play now.
yeah. Well, I like had made a point. Um, yeah, I did. I even after failing the blitz, I did manage to knock the ball loose on my turn 8, and it scattered. I forget what I think it scattered out, and then he managed to like uh, sneak by the handful of players I'd gotten down there to pick it up um, and get the score. But yeah, it was a frustrating game. Just
Oh,
like forgetting to hit blitz is
it's always the
it's
worst.
the worst. Um,
it's learning from them though. Like I've played a crazy amount of games by now, especially in Spin League.
mm,
Mm-hmm.
I think a fair bit of it is just you gotta accept those losses and like play so. I've
yeah,
burned myself on blitzes like that so many times that
yeah,
on my turn now I exclusively will right click my blitzes just so you can't do
Can't mess
the
it
old
up.
like move one space when you went to double click.
Right.
or stand it up without clicking blitz.
Yep.
I've done that one several times. I
Yeah.
don't make that mistake anymore.
I don't think there's a coach that hasn't made that mistake at some point.
It was heartbreaking watching one of our the coaches in college, Major, when he played. He almost like tied the game against Big A in our college season, which would have given him a chance at going to playoff, and just ended up he did that exact mistake with a skeleton, and just that was it. He couldn't pick up the ball to score. It would have just tied it up right then and there. It was heartbreaking. I remember that. Um. Anyways, both teams picking up a level up. One on the lineman for Pickle, and
Yep.
then one on the guard blocker for Lead Pipe, which will be super nice. Probably another Mighty Blow
We
piece.
gonna see a we gonna see a dirty player there, Pickle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Uh,
Yeah.
already
Yep.
took it.
Yep. I would take the dirty player in a heartbeat as well. I'm
Yeah.
wishing I had it.
I had debated heavily on my zones
Mm-hmm.
about whether I want to run dirty player or not, but I decided against it in favor of kick.
Mm. It's probably fine early
I
on.
had it. I had a kick piece for a bunch of the college season, and I just like never managed to capitalize on it. So I haven't felt the need to replace him since he died, or got
I could feel
cased or whatever.
it's definitely more useful on some teams than others. Amazons don't make the best use of it either,
Yep.
but I think the one thing it does do is in those like against those one turn plays,
Right.
it gives you some control and maybe
Mm.
makes them keep another piece back where you don't want them to.
Yep.
Mm. All right, I think that wraps up that game nice and well. And last but not least, rolls into my game. Big Flexes and Serial Slayers 0-2 in favor of Big A. Big A taking it again. I walked out of this one a little worse for wear. Losing both an ogre and a lineman. Unfortunate. This game was purely defined by the fact I managed to roll 4 1s and 2s on picking up a ball with my thrower in 2 turns. And not, I mean, you could make the case that I probably should have pulled back after the first failed attempt, but you look at the 88% and you're like, there's a low chance you're gonna fail the second time, and then you fail the second time, and Big A capitalized on that super hard. Just punched through my guys and walked up and based the ball, and from there it was just downhill from there. I couldn't get my hands on the ball, and then he managed to pick up the ball with a lineman and score. Then after that, it was just kind of back and forth. And when he had the ball, him caging up like he always does in his classic Big A cage that you can't break through. And there was one glimmer of hope in the second and a half. He made a mistake. He made the mistake that Valia actually did during their match, where you had to GFI to complete your cage, except his GFI to complete his cage was incredibly important. It was the front part of the cage that would have given me a clear shot at the ball to punch him down. And he failed it. The classic Orc GFI he rolled the one, re-rolled into another one,
Oof,
and it was essentially my chance, and I proceeded to roll a 1 and 2 on a dodge, and
Oh
that was
no.
that. It was another 1 and 9 to bite me one more time before the game finished. I think I 1 and 9 about 5 times that game.
I still stick by my cage choice.
Hey, yours worked out, so for all intents and purposes, it worked in your favor. But I'm pretty sure Big A did not mean for that to go that way at all.
Yeah, no, I had counted mine out well before. When I did it, and I knew what I had to do at the end of the play.
Yeah. I think the most disappointing part for me near the end of the game was I tried to pick up the ball to get one more completion pass on my thrower.
Oh yeah, the last turn.
Yeah, very last turn. I pick up the ball nice and easy, and then I throw it, and then I 1 and 9 the catch. And it's like, well, let's end on a 1 and 9 too. I don't get the level up on my thrower
Get him out of your system now.
either. uh, in my opinion, kind of a disappointing game for me versus Big A. I was hoping for a much harder game. In terms of actually playing the game and not me unable to pick up the ball to just do anything.
I say it sounded like a hard game to me, but
It's hard in the way that it was out of my control instead of it being hard in terms of both coaches using all their wits to do it. All my wit was um, picking up the ball. And yeah, lead pipe, he killed the ogre. See, I made so one last thing to round out just how upset I was after the game. I made the executive decision to not APO the ogre because I was like, well, he's a rookie ogre, and honestly, Big A is going to continue to punch my players because I can't remove his killer piece. I don't want to risk something more valuable dying, so I'm going to hold on to the APO. So turn 8. Turn 8, I fail a dodge on my catcher again. Um I fail a dodge. It was like a 4+ dodge. It was basically a last ditch attempt in order to score, um, to tie up the game before the end of the first half. And I failed it, and the catcher got KO'd, and then I accidentally clicked the APO on the KO that was about to re-roll. Like I think I had 2+ Babe rolls. So wasted the APO completely. Um, so the other fist died for no reason whatsoever.
On the other
looks like you
hand,
got a wine
you
and
didn't
diner
actually
too, though.
lose. Yeah, you didn't lose anything that you would have
No,
APO'd
no,
anyway. So
yeah. So that was the saving grace, was that I didn't lose anything of that important. But it's still just like it was frustrating for me.
mm.
I think people that were there could have told I was getting super tilted
Oh no,
throughout it.
I was watching that
Just
game and
just like over time I just got like more and more tilted and just told myself, all right, you just don't complain about this game anymore, and then something else would happen.
I've been this.
Anyway, um Big A played really well. He managed to pick up another level on his guard blitzer. That's super nice. Probably going to be a tackle in our dodge heavy league at the moment. Um, possibly. Other than that, no other levels. Big A has 3 Black Orc blockers that are still just about to level. One Kaz away from a level. All 3 of them. Yeah, that's all there really was to that game. It's gonna be up to everybody else to take down Big A's score.
I think I get a stab at him week 6.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested because this looks like I feel like this group is. I can't even remember how long ago my college season was.
Mm-hmm.
Just a while ago. I think I took a 2-year break about
Oh wow.
roughly, but the college coaches from this group definitely look a lot stronger than the majority from my group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you ended up in the division where we have, I think, 4 playoff coaches. Me, Big A, Lofty, and Heldrum all went to college playoff. So
And I felt like Heldrum played when I
Heldrum
played
played
against
really
him.
well.
He played a really strong game,
Mhm.
and he just gave me I think it was uh, like a based cage
Yep.
where I had
That.
to use the 1 die on a
Yep.
blotch piece,
Mhm.
and I just hit the 6.
Yep, you hit the 6 and managed to take it from there. You got super lucky on that one. I mentioned that in the cast.
Then
But he had played
Anyway,
everything really well.
yeah, that was a fun game to watch.
then
Anyways,
you've got OpenEye and I who were like bottom of our division last year. So, we'll round out the even out the division average just fine.
I think King Fu and Super Gel were like middle, so I think it all worked out. That wraps up Americas,
Yep. Let's
leading into the
pull up
mixed
mixed.
division.
Yeah.
First game is a 1-2 in favor of It's a Lot of Lizards. The Wild Skull Bastion versus It's a Lot of Lizards. Toralar not doing too hot with his strategy of kill everything in sight this game. In fact, there was no casualties on either side. Is that reporting correctly?
Oh
I just
no.
don't see any stats on it.
Yeah, there's like no stats on it either. I feel like I
Oh
remember
wait.
seeing some deaths
That's
happen.
when that happens. That's usually a like game that didn't get played.
Oh,
Yeah,
huh.
it could have been admin maybe.
Yeah,
But
the 2-1 win is usually. I think that's like a excused absence kind of thing, right? Like if Toralar tried to get things to work, but then bailed. I don't know. There's it.
Yeah, looking at it now, it looks like that's probably what happened because it's just a touchdown and an MVP for
Yeah.
Toralar and then two. And like Sorai, I don't believe this Saurus got a touchdown.
You don't think Asora's got a touchdown?
I
Maybe.
I know they're
believe the first
possible,
touchdown.
but I doubt it.
Yeah. No, I think that was an admin
Mhm.
outcome.
Unfortunate they didn't get to play.
Yeah.
If that is the case.
If I think it is based on what we see, because Toralar isn't scared to. He has like two piling on mighty blow blitzers. He has two 30 players, and his whole strategy is to kill
Not
everything in sight.
So funny enough, in college, that was my strategy. I had a chaos team,
Oh boy!
and
But
I
you
think
were
I
baby
had,
chaos, so
I think I had something like by playoffs. I think I had 3 or 4 claw bombers.
oh my goodness, Jesus Christ, that's terrifying.
I lost to rats in the end.
Of course. Hey, just like the Super Bowl. No, the Super Bowl, the Chaos one.
Yeah, no, I couldn't keep up with the gutter runners in mine.
Well, yeah.
I had like no tackle on the team. I made a lot of mistakes developing that team back then.
It brings us to our next game, Midnight Special versus Orc and Bean 0-2 in favor of the Orcs. So the Amazons not pulling through in this game. Two MNGs, but one of them landed on a loner line woman, so that doesn't matter. But the rookie catcher is going to be out.
You're not missing too much there.
Nah.
The development.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I agree. And nothing missing on Orc and Bean's side.
damn works.
It does look like some orcs were removed during the game. 3 KOs.
It's a less blocky game than I would have. I would tend to expect from orcs and Amazons going at each other.
Yeah, 24-32.
I think that's about, in my opinion, that's about right.
Okay.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of turns where the orcs are basing and the Zons just kind of get everyone out.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Especially
fair.
in this case where there's
Especially
no
with I
tackle.
see no tackle on the orcs, so I'm betting that's almost exactly what happened.
Right.
The Amazons took choice blocks
Mm-hmm.
until they started losing numbers, and then they had to start kind of getting bodies in there.
Mm-hmm. Orc and Bean's looking kind of scary, honestly. 3 block guard black orcs. I might have mentioned this last week, but
that's a lot of guard.
That's a lot of guard on strength 4 pieces.
And that one black orc just needs to make a pass, and he'll get a level.
Oh, one whole pass.
One whole pass, he can do it. I believe in
On
him.
Agi 2. Very easy. No level ups for Orc and Beans, but one level up on a rookie Blitzer is super nice for the Midnight Special.
Yep, I expect to probably see guard there.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
Guard
same.
boost, yeah. Definitely gonna need it in that division. It's a very
Dash
bashy
on, yeah.
division. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it. You got lizards, two lizards, two orcs. It looks like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got all the lizards over there, so
Yeah.
dodged a bullet there.
Some Bretonians.
Yeah, they got a Brett team.
Yeah. And
Alright, we
I
got
think House of
these
Windsor are elves. I think there's.
Yeah, I think they're
Yeah.
the one elves.
We
Yeah,
got
it's
Mountain
Dark
West
Elves.
and the Blizzard Lizards.
Mm-hmm.
Another 2-3 game.
Manhack losing this one.
I've played a lot of spin with Manhack.
Yeah, I noticed he plays a lot in the spin league. Funnily enough, the results of this game looking less blocky in favor of the Blizzard Lizard. Just the casualties on the opposite side, I would expect, than what I would expect. With the whole Saurus dying. That's one
Yeah,
dead
that's.
Saurus and two MNGs. The Agi 5 skin hitting the MNG is gonna hurt him in the next game.
3 touchdowns on that one of the
Lodge.
steppers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's super nice. Because I think block is a doubles role for skinks.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Mm-hmm. Manhack
Yeah.
picking up quite a few levels on some nice pieces. Guard Blitzer, his killer piece, and his movement up catcher will be super nice. If he's looking for one turning, you give that catcher sprint or sure feet, one of the two.
Yep.
But eventually you get the other anyways.
I mean, that's probably what he's gonna do, right? He's already in on the one turns,
Mm-hmm.
just in the even without more support. So
Mm-hmm.
probably sure feet, right? Like if he's taking he seems fine on his one turn setups. So just having that extra bit of support to on the GFIs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess I'm not sure whether you get better odds by not needing another push or by getting a free reroll on your.
I think
I
it
guess
definitely depends too on the coach you're playing against.
Yeah.
right.
If they're playing the back of the goal line defense, I think probably the sure feet might be more better
Mm-hmm.
because you can probably find your pushes easier.
Right.
If you're defending one turns like I think you should, and putting guys closer and trying to make the paths harder, then I think the sprint becomes a little more valuable.
Yep.
But for all we know, it could just be another movement up, and then
Right.
Yeah.
this is a moot conversation.
Of course. If it's another movement up, then that becomes a natural one turner after he gets sprint, and you definitely take sprint after that.
Yeah, I've had one of those.
That's the god catcher right there. I think that wraps up that game. I think I saw that after they talked, it was like a near the end of the game kind of deal where all the touchdowns came out for the Lizards. So just real quick and easy, probably dodged in, grabbed it, dodged it out, put it in. Because that's kind of what skinks do, anyways.
Yeah, that's always the trick to beating those lizards, man. Is
Punch the skink.
I mean,
punch the skinks.
he was doing the best he could. He got two of the, he
Yeah,
got
he
half
did
of
get
them,
two.
but
Especially the Agi 5 one. Getting that one out was probably big,
yeah.
depending on when that came out. Well, I don't think there's much else to say about that game.
No, I do kind of wonder. I guess there were no passes on it, so I was wondering whether the Agi 5 was doing pick up and pass type plays.
Pass
but
play. I think passes are like a 4+ catch for skinks.
They're -1
Because of-
consistency.
Oh,
passes.
okay.
I think the catch, if I recall correctly, the catches are unmarred. But
Oh, okay.
passing attempts are -1.
Well, the Agi 5 skink would make that like a 2+, so
Right.
It
I
would be
don't
like
think
a
it
4+ on a normal guy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or it'd be like a 4 agi player normally. So they could do 2+ short passes, or not short passes, quicks, and probably. I'm trying to get my fucking pass math. Oh, excuse my language there. My pass math down here. But I know they can quick pass on a 2+ at that point.
So we got House of Windsor and Magical Misery Tour.
3-0.
3-0, yeah, that's.
Dark Dog.
With no injuries? Or was there some KOs? There must have been some KOs or something going on there.
Not a lot.
There was a badly hurt on
the winning team, yeah.
Yeah.
One lineman badly hurt. Other than that, it looks like just armor wasn't really breaking.
Maybe it must have been an Apo.
KOs weren't happening.
I mean, only 2 KOs and 2 CAS total, so.
Yeah. It must have just been some running around.
Yeah. I mean, Misery Tour is not a terribly killy team. He's had some wolf issues. Which
I remember in postseason punch up I'd managed to take out one of the I Agi busted his mighty blow wolf.
Yeah, he lost a wolf, like some semi-developed wolf early in college as well, so he's just can't keep him alive. Looks like he did pick up the MVP on one, so
that's super nice.
Get that up to level 3.
Do they get agility on normals, or do they have to double?
I think it's Agi normal and strength doubles.
Strength doubles? Other way around. Got it. So probably a dodge piece right there, if not rolling doubles or anything.
It looks like he must have rolled doubles because he did pick up the mighty blow.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, Sage Goose confirmed it. It's Agi normal strength double, so he did get the doubles, which is super nice. Super nice on a claw player for sure.
Yeah.
Also picking up a level on the zombie. Probably got a random Kaz because that's how it leveled. On the opposite end, level on a lineman who stole the MVP, and the strip ball piece picking up a level, and the block witch elf picking up a level. Both probably really nice levels to have right now.
Oh, for sure.
Further along.
Yeah.
I expect to maybe see tackle on that blitz there.
Yeah, I was thinking tackle or. Do you even need tackle on the blitzer necessarily? Because with strip ball, if a player has dodge and you hit them with the strip ball, does it still strip even if it's not a push?
Yep.
Yeah, so maybe wrestle.
Have sure hands.
Right.
Potentially wrestle. The thing is you typically don't really like taking wrestle on a piece that already has block.
Oh, that's true. It does already have block.
So typically you don't really do that.
That makes sense.
But I probably expect. I don't know. It's hard to say what you would expect there. Maybe a tackle. Tackle wouldn't be too bad because then you could knock down the opposing ball carrier, which is always right.
Which
Yeah.
gets past sure hands
Yeah.
aspect of it.
I'll have to wait till next week to find out. He hasn't spent his level yet.
Nope. Naturally. These coaches like to be sneaky.
I'm just blatant with mine. I think I level up my guys pretty much right after my games.
Oh, I always do. Depending on my tilt level, I'll level them up during the stream or not.
I think I click and see who I'm playing the next week, roll my levels, and if they're somehow going to counter me with their couple levels up, so be it.
And there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Well, that wraps that up and brings us to our last game of the week. Legendary Massacre versus Major, a 1-1 draw. Major suffering a very unfortunate injury there with the agi butt on the movement up ghoul. That is a dead ghoul.
Yep.
It's very dead ghoul. Very unfortunate. But in terms of Massacre games, this is pretty light on the injuries overall. Massacre not really taking anything besides a badly hurt on the ogre and a badly hurt on the lineman. Sorry.
Not much development either in that. Like one lino just from the MVP.
The Blitz are going crazy that game though.
Yeah, 4 Kaz.
Yeah, not a lot of nice regens. Yeah, I agree, Ellie. That I'm pretty sure Major said so as well. That ghoul is just gone.
Yeah, I was even trying to think to myself like what you could do with it.
No, you don't do anything with it.
Even as like a wrestle or strip ball piece, you still have to dodge in for those types of plays usually.
Yeah.
So it's dead. Unless you're really brave.
Unless you're really brave. But if you were that, you'd be playing Khemri. In terms of levels, nothing too crazy going on. Just a level on alignment for Massacre. Still, that's crazy. 4 Kaz's on that Mighty Blow Blitzer is super nice.
Yeah.
It's 1 Kaz away.
Especially on a team like that, like facing undead, it's hard to get. Yeah, there's just not a lot of targets that are easy to break.
Besides the ghouls, right?
Besides the ghouls
But the Blitzer didn't have tackles, so
makes that even hard.
Yeah.
So that's super impressive by that Blitzer.
Yeah, just roll 6s, dude. People scoff at that advice, but it works.
It's a winning strategy if you can pull it off.
It's getting them in the right place that's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Like when you need a one-by block or you need that interception.
For sure.
It's real good to roll those 6s then.
That wraps up week 2 and brings us to week 3.
All right.
Super exciting. Well, we'll start with mixed since we're already here.
Sure.
Starting off with Men of the West, and it's a lot of lizard.
Didn't we just do this one?
No, we did Skull Bashes and it's a lot of lizards.
Oh, we're saying the next. Oh,
yeah, we're taking it so that then we've done the recap and now we're doing the prediction. The classic 2-phase Moose and Pickle recap strategy.
Yeah, it's in the 1-2-2-1 order.
That's only been the last couple of weeks just because it's convenient, but
It's very convenient.
yeah. So what are we looking at? We've got
Got a TV difference here: 1580 versus 1310.
Yeah, lizards are looking down on their luck a little bit there.
They're out the Super Skink too.
Yep, Super Skink is going to be MNG
think I like Men of the West in this one.
Yeah, in this case, it's
No,
just
wait.
a matter of
Super Skink doesn't exist. That's the other lizard team.
Is that the other
Oh,
lizard?
that team?
Yeah.
That's the other lizard? Oh,
This team
wrong.
just lost its skinks. It's like
Oh, yeah. it
this
did.
team has had some. It looks like some rough dead pieces.
Yeah,
Lost a
especially
Crocs.
Crocs.
Lost a bunch of Saurus.
There's a plus movement skink there.
Yep.
I think this game looks like it comes down to a wizard, probably.
Mm-hmm. Their lizards are going to have 270k
Yeah.
inducements. But they haven't taken a level on.
They're gonna get two. There's gonna be two skinks. Loners coming in, so that number will go down a little, but I still think he can.
I bet
No, the
he's gonna
loner-
buy. He
the-
has 170k right now. So
It's still gonna be. It's gonna be 270 because that next match TV actually is taking into account the loners.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. Yep. It does that. It does that math correctly.
Yeah, I would expect which coach is this? This is Althazar. Althazar is probably going to pick up the two skinks because he has the 170k.
True.
No, that's only one skink. No, that's two.
So it's 20k with the cash value, though. That's gonna be the only little difference.
Yeah. So he's actually probably 20k less than what it says.
1290. So yeah, it's even more, almost.
That's almost
300, 290.
almost 300. Yeah, 290.
Yeah. I don't know if you would pick up two skinks though. You might only pick up one. Just to keep some.
I think for
to keep
development purposes, you grab two personally.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Because they
You
would
don't
want to
get-
anyways.
You don't want to get that loner MVP. Or whatever.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
And you might as well get them now because I mean, what else is he gonna pick up for the
You
Lizard
recycle them
anyway?
anyways as soon as they roll terrible level ups.
Yes.
Right.
I will mention something. It doesn't look like Althazar has taken his levels yet on his Sorai. The Block Saurus is level 3, and it doesn't have another skill.
Yep.
Same with the Killer Saurus. Doesn't have a 4th level. No. That's right. Because they don't start with any skill. It's the other. There's two level.
There's
3
two level 3
Saurus.
Saurus that have not taken any skills yet.
That's correct. TV.
Depending on the rolls, of course.
Yeah.
It is another.
I mean, he's still gonna have. So he's still gonna have a wizard if he wants it.
So yeah, if we go off of no like crazy doubles or anything, it'd be another 40k. So 1290 to 1230. Sorry, 1330. My bad.
250.
And then that's not. Also, the other thing is, Manhack is one of those people that doesn't level up his stuff until the day of. He has some levels he hasn't even taken.
Yeah, he hasn't taken anything on the catcher.
The catcher or the killer piece yet. So
I'm sure we fully expect a wizard in this matchup.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I think Manhack has 3 levels here. The guard blitzer, the killer, and the movement up catcher all have levels. So that's another 60k. So it just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
So it's gonna be about 290, just like the original. It's gonna be like the original amount, 290k. Bar crazy stat, of course. It's really gonna come down to what the wizard does for Althazar in this case, as well as can Althazar get the armor breaks on Manhack before Manhack gets the armor breaks on him.
I feel like I come down pretty firmly on Manhack's side on this one. He's got a lot more development than the Lizard team. He's going to have a pretty, well, as consistent as you can be, one turner for like tying things up in the case of the odd wizard score or whatever.
Right.
I think he is in a good position to put it away on points. Like, who knows? He may get bashed down, but I still think he can probably pull off.
On
Yeah.
the flip side of that too, we got the plus movement skink on the other side too.
True.
Yeah, it'll be
True.
It's the same.
Yeah, that's a
same
fair
overall.
point.
This could become a high-scoring game quick.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. It's gonna come down to who can kill the other's strength 2 pieces.
Yeah. And the skink
And-
the skink has the stunty advantage of being able to sneak through dodges a little easier. So
Right.
Also taking those injuries a little harder on the
true.
chin.
True.
Exactly. And
But,
Manhack's proven that he's very liberal with his use of piling on with that blitzer.
Mm.
Very aggressive player for sure. But that's I think he can take it in most cases because a lot of teams don't have dirty player at the moment, either losing it or just not having the opportunity to do it because he already removed 2 or 3 pieces already, and you can't lose anymore. But yeah, I agree with you. I'd say Manhack.
Yeah, I
Has
favor
a
Manhack
pretty-
as well.
He has just purely based on skills, he has a pretty obvious gap here.
Yeah. All right. House of Windsor and the Midnight Special. Oops.
So, Elf and Amazon? Yep, Elf and Amazon with a very wide
Yeah.
TV difference.
Oh wow. Yeah, Windsor's got quite a gap.
That's massive. What is that? 450?
Yeah.
350.
350? Yeah, you're right. It's
Yeah,
350,
350.
not 450. Supposed to be a math major. Yeah, that's massive. Once again, House of Windsor hasn't taken its level ups yet, so it's hard to speculate what exactly they're going to do. Well, they haven't taken one level, I believe, on that Blitzer piece. So that's another like 20k added to the pile.
Yeah. So looking at the skills, Windsor has two tackle, could potentially get a third on. We were talking about tackle on that strip ball piece.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't. Yeah. So.
This game could be closer than the TVs indicate, though.
Yeah.
Either side has a bench. Leaves this kind of up in the air.
True.
So I think if I'm counting players,
Yeah, I think they're even.
yeah, neither side has a bench.
Oh,
The Dark Elves have a bench.
do they?
Do they? I'm counting 11.
Wait, 10, 11.
Yeah, they have 11.
Oh,
4, 8. They both have 11.
10. Man, I hate it when people move their stuff
Yeah.
slightly. Go with the numbers. 1 to whatever. This definitely feels it might just be another difference in skills kind of in this case.
I think it definitely favors the Dark Elves with the development and the fact that there's a couple tacklers there.
Yeah, that's gonna help him in getting
Potentially
the
a third
armor
one,
7
too,
pieces.
coming in, yeah.
Yep. It's really gonna come down to whether armor 7 blows up in the Amazon's face or it managed to hold on and punch the elves.
You could also potentially see some star players or something rolling on this one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. With that big of a TV gap, most likely. I would be unsurprised.
Although
Or
you might just take. I don't know. You might just take a wizard to, like, stop the elf runaway.
Mm-hmm.
I think an argument can be made for the master shot as well. I don't know what the reroll totals look like.
Oh.
But 3 and 3.
3 and 3. Yeah.
3 and 3.
3-3.
Master Chef's expensive though, right? If you're not flings
300k.
300k, yeah.
Yeah.
for what a four plus roll on each of the rerolls.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it steals from your opponent and gives them to you.
Right.
I don't really see it because it's not that big of a difference.
No, not. I was gonna say once I saw it was three reroll Dark Elves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it being likely
No.
against a 2 reroll Dark Elf team.
Mm.
Might be something to consider. Odds are pretty good in your favor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've all seen what not having rerolls can do to you as a coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything becomes very scary.
Yeah, I think this is definitely Wizard and Company for the Zons.
Yeah.
It's really gonna come. I think it's really gonna come down to what the Wizard and Company do for the Midnight Special. Otherwise, I personally would give this to the Dark Elves. They're just a little more developed and a little faster than the Zon.
And if I recall correctly, they're coming off a big 3-0 victory.
Yeah. Yeah. Windsor did put down a lot of points the last time too, the last game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're calling this for the elves.
I'm in favor of the elves on this one.
All right.
That leads into the next game: Massacre versus Toralar, Emperor's Chosen, and the Wild Skull Bashes.
I mean, for a team that is known for exploding, and a team that is built around exploding teams, this could be a match.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm looking through this one again.
It looks like Massacre's got about 90. We'll have like 90k in inducements. I absent level ups on either side. I don't know who's taken them and who hasn't.
Looks like there's a good amount of bench for Emperor Chosen's.
Yep. Two bench versus two bench.
Yep. They're both nice full teams. It does look like the orcs have at least 1, 2, maybe 2 level ups, 3 level ups they haven't taken yet, 4 level ups they haven't taken yet.
4 level up?
No, 3. Sorry, I'm miscounting. No, I take it back. They don't have any.
Yeah,
I was doing the math wrong. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at for a match.
Yep. This one it's orcs are pretty hard for humans in general.
Yeah.
Much more so when the human team is a little less developed and the orc team is a little more developed. In this case, 2 Mighty Blow piling on orcs, and 2 dirty player orc, and 3 guard pieces versus a very severe lack of guard on Massacre's side. 1 Mighty Blow piece. And just a strength up blitzer. Overall, it's looking like a tough match for Massacre, speaking from experience when it comes playing against orcs.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. This feels like it's the orcs' game to lose.
Yeah. Yep.
Or Knuckles' game to interfere with, however you want to look at it.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, anything can happen. Especially when it comes to Massacre and his games. Yeah, I'd chalk this up for the orcs. In terms of just to mention the inducements real quick, it's only a 90k inducement for Massacre, so we're probably not going to see a wizard of any kind or anything crazy.
No, he only has 60k in cash. He's not gonna. Oh,
And
and
something to mention is Torlar is 190k, so subtract 40k from that, as long as he gets rid of it
And
naturally.
it makes that even closer, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
probably
we're
only going to see like one babe on
one. Yeah, we're
this
definitely in a
build.
single babe territory.
Yeah,
Um,
which I would definitely take, even if it means spending like 10k for it.
yeah,
But naturally, when you buy the babes, you end up,
Not needing them.
getting Kaz'd. When you
Or your
take the
opponent buys them and they
apothecary,
do all the work in the world.
yeah. Or you take the wandering apothecary and all your people get KO'd. That's how it works. I don't make the rules. Yeah, I'd personally give this to the orcs. It's just a matter of development once again.
yep. All right.
Yep.
We're
So,
seeing an America's Sea rematch in week 3, Major versus Slow Rider. Deaderpool Reds versus Orkenbeam.
looks like the undead will have a good 200 TV worth of inducements.
Mm-hmm.
It might be give or take some levels. I don't know.
Looks like they're missing. They're piling on piece on the orc side.
No.
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 That just means it's movement busted.
Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to read it. I thought because it showed smash tip.
Yeah, no. It's if it's got the red bar, like Roberto.
Oh, like the ghoul.
Yeah, like
Okay.
the ghoul. That means it's out for the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the icon just tells you what injury it has.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a movement busted blitzer. This one's a lot closer than it seems, in my opinion.
I think so too. Like,
there is one thing going for the orcs for sure. It's the pure amount of guard it has, especially on its black orc blockers.
That's a lot of guard to work through. Even like even the two mummies, like that's just a. It's a hard.
In my experience, mummies seem to be known orc deterrent, though.
Yeah.
But I'd say one problem that Major's gonna feel for sure is that lack of guard, because the strength 4 black orcs are gonna be able to gang up on mummies pretty easily and give each other the assist to take those 2-die blocks, especially with their lack of block, which I know Major really wishes he could roll once in his lifetime, is block mummy.
Well, I mean, the other thing to consider is Major has got the movement up mummy. That's certainly going to be the ball carrier for his drives. So.
Hey man,
Very
don't knock
mobile. If he gets it there, it'll move 4 spaces and you can't stop him.
I've scored those Croc score touchdowns before, man. Tomb Guardian touchdowns, Steve. This is pretty much what it is. It's like a Tomb Guardian.
Yep.
I scored 2 TG touchdowns. It's doable. It's not easy.
Slow Rider has 4 re-rolls in this match.
Oh, really?
As well as a leader thrower. So that's like...
That is a lot of re-rolls. Holy.
It's like 5 re-rolls, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
Per drive.
He's got a lot of... He has cheerleaders and assistants, too. He's got a lot of extra TV that he could cut if he felt like it.
Should have desired, but this is also the same coach that runs 2 goblins as well.
True.
So this is definitely not
not a traditional build.
Too true. Yeah. And I think that goblin's actually done work for Slow Rider. So
and they can. And there's an argument to be had for having a couple cheerleaders or assistants in some game. I know that we got a lot of people that are purists and they don't want any excess TV, but getting a couple die advantage on those kickoff events.
It can help. It can definitely change the tide of the game for sure. In this match, it's a lot closer than it seems, but I think it's really going to come down to the punching power. Undead really aren't purely punch, but in this case, the orcs have armor 9 and a ton of guard, so it's going to be really hard for Major to find the hits that he's going to want to make. And with the movement 3 and sure the movement 4 mummy, it's going to be really hard to get away from getting punched a whole bunch.
Yep.
If he's looking for like easier blocks and such, to try to pick off pieces. But that's just going to be really hard for him, especially with the armor 9 pieces. I think this is really going to come down to a match where the ghouls are actually going to decide
I was gonna
what's
say it's
going to happen.
You got an opening. I don't see tackle yet on the orc side. That Agi 4 ghoul could be.
That could play
be
a big role.
Yeah. Could be a
I
big
think it's
deciding
all going to
factor.
come down to whether Major can effectively use his ghouls to just kind of run away with the ball and get away.
Or even
and
get in
who
our
knows?
defense. Those ghouls can really bring a drive to a stop sometimes.
Right. And on top of that, I do feel like it's worth noting that Major does have 4 Mighty Blow on the board versus 3 Mighty Blow on the orc side. So the Mighty Blow might end up doing him a lot of favors in terms of getting those numbers up to get rid of the orcs. So I feel like this is a game that it's definitely it looks worse than it might actually be, in my opinion.
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I think I'm gonna say this one is. I actually like the undead a little bit more.
Ooh. The underdog.
I think I was.
I support it.
All right. Well, you guys outvote me then. I was definitely leaning towards Slow Rider on this, but we'll.
I thought both of you guys were leading there, but I think after looking at it a little harder, I think those ghouls might be a little hard to stop, and the guard could be huge. If the offensive drive gets stalled into like getting pushed to one side or the other, I think all that guard on the orcs makes things really difficult. But if he secures his cutbacks and stuff, like it could be really hard to chase down these ghouls.
Yeah,
for sure. One last thing I do want to mention is the TV difference as well. It's once you cut down I believe Major is probably going to pick up a ghoul to replace that Agi busted ghoul.
Yeah.
So that's I believe that's the 70K TV. So subtract just add 30K to his. Yeah, so he'll be at 1550.
Yeah.
That's his actual TV. No. Sorry.
14.
Yeah, 1450. I was looking at the wrong number. It'll be 1450 TV in this match.
Right.
1450 versus 1640. That's about 190.
Yep.
Do I have that math right?
Yep. No. That.
Yeah. So we could potentially see Major picking up a wizard and potentially a babe if he wants to spend the last 10K on it, which is something I would definitely consider in this matchup. Is just getting a babe on top of it all.
I mean, he's got the cash. Even if he spends down to 150, like.
He'll be at. Go ahead.
Babe oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, yeah. Go ahead.
Babes come out for sure. That can swing things pretty big.
For sure.
I'm in favor of a double babe in such a bashy matchup.
Especially since he is undead, so ideally his regens work for him.
Ideally your regens work and the babes get your KOs up, and it makes it hard for a team to play the removal game against that.
For sure.
Well, it'll be an interesting one to see come next week's recap.
That game is actually scheduled already. That's on the 6th. So that would be this Saturday at 11 UTC. So that would be -4 is 19, which is 7 p.m. EDT this weekend. So if you want to tune in, it's in the evening on Saturday. Ideally, Eldrum said. That's
What's our
always
final
the big
verdict on
quote.
this one?
Oh, I think we said that Major was gonna pull it.
Yep.
We're voting for the
Oh,
underdog.
We have officially
Alright,
recorded it as going tilted in the direction of the undead.
Yeah, if I had to play as one of these two teams in this matchup, I think for sure I'd rather be at the undead side than the orc, surprisingly.
All right, brings us into the last match of mixed.
Yep. So we've got
Magical Misery Tour and the Blizzard Lizard.
Now, this is the super edgy.
this has the double agi up skink that is out
That's
for
missing.
the game.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Which definitely stinks for sure.
It's a real close one. There's no excess cash. So maybe the missing level ups, but I think the most we see here is it looks like one babe, maybe.
Mm.
yeah. Yep.
It's 1420 versus 1390, so we're seeing a 30k difference in favor of Magical Misery Tour.
And we
They did pick. Go ahead.
Oh, we do have that killer werewolf here. That could be pretty big in a matchup against Crocs and Sores here.
Killer werewolf. It's also the white, the guard mighty blow of white.
Super nice.
And he's got a bench, so he can do bench on a dirty player, so he can do some fouling.
Yeah, if you can get some fouls on the skinks when they're down,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're gone.
or at the very least, they're out for a play.
Well, yeah. On the Blizzard Lizard side, it does look like most of their Sorai are blocked, minus the one that unfortunately got killed last match. So they have that rookie Saurus on deck for this next game. They got the one guard Saurus, got a tackle Saurus, guard Crocs, and two Blodge Step Skinks are super nice. Both of those good. Yeah, definitely good candidates for carrying the ball with sidestep, in my opinion. Makes it easier to sit on the sidelines if you wanted to.
Yep.
Hard to push them out, rather.
I think I'm gonna look for the werewolf to be going after that Tacklesaurus early.
Oh yeah, I think the werewolves are going to play pretty big in this matchup. If you can get them to do their thing against the Saurus.
Oh, for sure, and I think the sideline's a pretty scary place for the lizard team in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. The werewolves will be able to keep up with the skinks as well, is another thing. So those skinks aren't necessarily able to just outrun everything on the board. Werewolves will be able to keep pace.
But I mean, the wolves are the only thing that can keep pace.
Like, for sure.
The rest of the team is going to be outpaced by the skinks and the sauruses, basically. So.
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part. I will say that if you should see some zombies that are going to tie up some of the sources, though.
Oh yeah, they'll just attach to the sources.
They'll attach and just never get off of them until they break.
For sure. And with no mighty blow on the lizard side, not the best odds to break.
No, and the other thing is frenzy against those blodge steppers is just extra chances at getting those.
Right.
So even though there's no tackle on the other side,
the
fact that frenzy gives you increased odds of getting those blodgers down.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure you got pretty good odds at finding a 6 and 4 dice.
Yeah, not bad odds
you could say 4 out of 6 chance, actually. Yeah, I also agree with Sage Bruce. The whites are also a little mobile at movement 6. And that guard white is going to help a lot in getting the punches that what's his name? Toll 007 is going to want to try to find to take advantage of. I think this one's really going to come down to if the werewolves can do claw things or if the lizards can do strength 4 things and the skinks run where they please.
And adding on to that, I think another big kind of matchup that you wouldn't think about firsthand is zombie stuns and KOs, freeing up sources. If they come early enough, the lizards kind of get to be free to do what they want, but if those zombies spend even half of a half tying those guys up, they probably did more than their fair share.
For sure. For sure. In this matchup, I think I'm in favor of the werewolves in this matchup.
As am I. That was my thought.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
I think Tull 007 probably has learned quite a few lessons in using those werewolves more effectively after losing 2 of them.
You'd hope they will protect them a little bit better, but
or at the very least take as many guys down with them as they possibly can.
Yeah.
All right, that's the mixed division.
Yeah.
And we're back to the American division. The opening game at the start is going to be Open Eye versus me, Big Flexin and Dark Elves Rising, which we already scheduled. Our game is going to be tomorrow.
Getting it out of the way early.
Yep, we agreed tomorrow's a good time. We're going to be doing it at 9 p.m. EDT, so unfortunately, if any European coaches were hoping to catch it, it will be pretty late for them.
So I see you picked up a replacement to Ogre.
Yep, I was able to just immediately, I had the cash lying around, so I just immediately replaced the Ogre and the lineman. We're up to Charles the 9th now. I'm really happy Charles the 1st has made it through all of these matches. He's a real trooper. Can't say the same for the 2nd through the 6th.
Yeah, you've gone through a lot of linos.
Yeah, it happens. I'd rather the linos go than anything else.
Yeah, indeed.
For sure.
I didn't pick up any crazy level ups in the time frame. Versus the big change in Open Eye's team losing the strength up Witch Elf, definitely hurting, but picking up a agi up, movement up Witch Elf for more stat float. Definitely going to be nice if that Witch Elf can live to see block and the skills thereafter. If I could give my thoughts on the match, I'm not too particularly scared of Open Eye's team, purely based on, once again, it's a match where he has a lot of stat bloat, but he still doesn't really have the skills to back up those stat quite yet.
Yeah.
He has the tackle on the movement up blitzer, which is super nice for him. Definitely something that's definitely a piece that I have to pay attention to, but kind of the only piece I really feel inclined to pay attention to is that tackle piece. Everything else can move far and can dodge really well, but like the Witch Elf doesn't have block, so it doesn't have block or tackle, so the Witch Elf doing anything to my team, where I kind of have a rather block heavy team for the most part, as well as 3 dodge pieces, so getting to the ball and getting the ball down is going to be a tough one for him, just because I do intend on keeping the ball on those catchers throughout the match, who are Blodge or Raj, respectively. So and having only one guard piece versus my 4 guard pieces is going to be a hard punching game for him, so I don't think he'll be considering it that heavily. Now, that being said, he does have a lot of movement.
Yeah, a lot of movement over here.
2 movement 8 pieces and a movement 9 piece is not something to scoff at for me. If he gets the ball in that blitzer's hand, I will have a small amount of trouble getting to it with pieces that are that can make a big difference in that piece's life.
Yeah, if he's able to knock it down on defense and pick it up with that movement 9 piece in the same turn, I think you've got pretty much a 1-turn window.
Mm-hmm. It's going to come down to whether my catchers can do their thing and stop that piece at that point.
I think a lot of this comes down to coach skill.
Yeah.
And OpenEye shows big willingness to learn.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, I played a practice match with him where he asked for a little bit of advice before the season started. We played one. But I think I like you in this one, Moose.
Mm-hmm. I think in this matchup, for sure, I just kind of have the skills to back up. I have a lot more relevant skills in this case that are going to help me in punching in general, as well as staying power as well.
Yeah, you're able to stand up and knock down better at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
As well as keep pace with a good portion of this team with my human's high movement.
That said, though, with some solid little couple more levels on that Dark Elf team.
Oh, it'll be scary.
They can get real scary real quick.
Oh, yeah.
And if OpenEye keeps the same aggressive attitude towards getting better, his skills as a coach can go drastically up. I think I caught his game last week. Mm-hmm. I think he had a situation where he could have made that game a little bit different. And I think there was just a miscount on steps.
I think that was his game with me.
Mistakes like that, if he eliminates those, he can get real scary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the match. Last thing I'll mention is the inducement difference. I will have 110k in inducements bar him buying anything, which I don't think he will. I assume he's going to save up for that Witch Elf replacement.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
So that'll be 110, which is something I'll have to debate on what I'm going to do with.
I was going to ask you, give us any insight?
I'd probably go a bribe in this case, just because I'd want to go for removals in general.
On some of those more valuable pieces.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He does have 1 bench.
Yeah, he had 2 bench for mine, and he lost the Witch Elf, so...
Mm-hmm. What did you say, Valia? I missed it.
I said for some of the more valuable pieces.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, getting these pieces on the floor shouldn't be too hard for me, so getting the boot in there is going to be relatively... maybe not necessarily easy, but definitely an avenue I can take and I should seek out. Just wish I had a dirty player. Maybe we'll see one after this match.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get one on my next rookie line woman as well.
Mm-hmm. I do have a lineman who is 1 SPP away. So
yeah, just
ideally...
vanity pass with Charles VIII and...
Well, thrower comes first. I want to get the pass on that. And knowing my pickup rates, I will lose this game because I cannot pick up the ball for the life of me.
I expect to see some rain in this game. I feel it coming.
Just watch me go on tilt as soon as we enter the game.
Anyway. Bioweather dome.
That brings us to our next game. Unfortunately for you, Pickle, I was not able to do much damage to...
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're dealing with a full strength orc team in this match
Not
with
not
too much of a TV difference.
Yeah, not something I'm looking forward to. Uh,
We're looking at he's probably gonna cut down to 1570, so we're looking at a 50k TV difference.
I mean, it gets me a babe. Can
Mhm.
maybe not fall over. I have some bench. I do have a dirty player, so um,
You have a dirty player, and you
but
do have block everywhere on your team.
I have block out the wazoo. Not a lot of guard to work with though.
Mhm. Something also worth mentioning is the only tackle Big A has is on that blitzer piece. So getting your ulf down and getting your runner down
Right.
won't necessarily be the easiest thing for him if he doesn't if he isn't able to target those effectively.
Yeah.
Not to mention one thing Big A is sorely lacking in overall is kind of guard in general. I'm sure he looks at Slow Rider's team and envies all those black orcs with guard block.
Yeah. He's got like those. He's got
He's close to getting
so
there.
close on
So
all of
yeah,
his blorks.
yeah. Don't be the reason he gets there.
Oh God.
Yeah,
AV7.
Yeah.
I pity the person coming after me. The person playing him next week.
I play him in a few.
But yeah, I mean, it's Norris. I gotta hope I can snowball, but snowballing against AV9 orcs is
Not the easiest thing.
not gonna be a straightforward task.
I think your Yeti might come into play here.
Oh yeah, I
even if
mean,
he's having claw and block and mighty blow.
Doesn't look like the Yeti I played against.
Yeah. Definitely something you got to be careful about using because Big A will take the opportunity to punch it.
yeah,
Because I'm sure Big A considers that one of his bigger threats.
yep, yeah. The Yeti can't
So-
go around unsupported.
Mhm. But it's definitely something that could catch his pieces if he overextends with any of his pieces. That Yeti could capitalize on that and take him out.
Yep.
And just the sheer amount of frenzy on your team as well. You have 5 frenzy pieces.
Yeah.
So sidelines are definitely not going to be Big A's friend. Not to mention, on top of that, breaking up a cage is a little easier for you.
I mean, I've done my fair share of like punching into cages with frenzy.
Mhm.
So it's
Just to give you a little bit of advice, Big A loves to cage around his black orc. That's the one spot he always runs to, is to he always cages around his black orc. So if you can slow him down heavily, it's definitely going to help you a lot in this match, especially because the black orcs are movement 4. So being in that cage while being super safe does not move him up the field very fast if you can push him back and keep him
right.
in place.
Yeah.
Or if you could even set up a sturdy column in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you can trap him on one side or the other,
Yep.
get a kind of a 2-row column with a bunch of guys threatening surfs on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a pretty good way to slow down orcs, I found.
Mm-hmm. Something worth mentioning is the mighty blow on both teams. You guys are both equal in terms of mighty blow. Big A picking up a mighty blow on the guard piece, and he has his tackle piece, that's killer piece.
Yeah.
And of course, the normal mighty blow on the troll. Not the most reliable, seeing as it's blocked behind no block. Versus your 3 mighty blows, and one of those being claw pieces. I think mighty blows are definitely going to define this match. And it's going to come down to how effectively your claw removes versus how effectively his pieces remove your armor 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say how effectively my claw versus how effectively his entire team
Can get the AV7. But hey, we've seen those matches where armor 7 just holds like steel and doesn't
Yep.
just won't go away for the
Yep.
life of
And
the
you have enough
opposing player.
block too that it's it's kind of like Zahn's. It's kind of offsets a little bit of that AB7.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like AB7 and a third.
Right. Excuse me. Yeah, other than that, I don't see any clear-cut differences in this game. It's a game that's a lot closer than it seems. I think that just the one thing is don't let the pressure get to you when facing Big A. Sure, he's the college champion, but you can beat him.
I think
He's
he's actually a good chance at winning it, but I think it's definitely
It's gonna depend
Serial
on
Slayer
those
game to
armor
lose.
dice.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
armor dice are going to be huge.
Yep.
But I think it's his game to lose and your Yeti's game to steal.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Not to vote against you, I do kind of give this to Big A.
Oh yeah.
His team is very solid. AV9 is a very strong armor value.
I mean, I played him. I played him, and no, I didn't play him. I played Serial Slayers, and there was another orc team last season, and yeah, definitely the orcs are. It's a rough match.
Oh yeah.
For Norse.
Orcs are a strong team for a while.
Mm-hmm. And then they meet Chaos. Late game Chaos.
And even that's brutal. That's still a two-way punishment.
Yeah.
You'll see Beastmen dying and orcs dying and
It's just death.
Chaos Warriors standing around wondering what's going on.
Yeah, Heldrum. Yeah. Talk to me if you want anti-Big A strat. I'm like his biggest fan, but don't tell him.
He seems like a
I
very
know
solid
how he
coach.
plays very well. I've played against him a lot and watched a lot of his games. We're American Sea Brothers or something like that. Anyway, that brings us to our third game in Americas. DDoS, Dope Deer of Sigmarsheim versus the Natural Icemen. This is a Brett versus Norse matchup.
Yep, DDoS going against Norse 2 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm. Just go ahead and just get it out of the way.
Yeah. Norse teams are pretty similar. He does have a full block on everything at this point. A little bit more. He's got guard on one of his ults instead of dodge, and he's got a full killer stack.
I did remove an Ulf for
Yeah, for this
DDoS,
game it looks like so.
DDoS, if you're watching, you're welcome.
Yeah, he's there. Lead pipe's there. So.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I did take out an Ulf for you. I tried killing him, but he had an Apo still. So.
It looks like King Fu has a pretty strong team. He did pick up that strength up runner.
Yeah.
No, he's a very strong coach too.
Mm-hmm. King Fu is very good. I think Heldrum mentioned that King Fu was just one game off of being in playoffs as well, in college. He has a pretty solid team as well. His Berserker is shaped up really well. Traditional killing skills, Mighty Blow, piling on, tackle.
Lead pipe just chimed in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win. Just kidding. I'll probably lose a night.
I mean, the tackle killer is like the bane of the Blister's
Well,
existence.
Mm-hmm. They're definitely a very scary piece.
No, and that is a very scary piece. And I thought he'd use it more against me in our matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe he'll use it more against you, against lead pipe in this matchup.
Yeah, that's the one thing. That's my one criticism of King Fu is I think he's a little scared of blowing up with his armor 7 pieces, so he plays a little more passively than I would expect a bash team to play. Which, like I mentioned, it is kind of scary going in there with armor 7, so I don't blame him.
But I think sometimes if you're playing Norse, you have to commit to just putting on that helmet and trying to run your head through a wall.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know
No,
if Pickle
no wizard
really
this time,
agrees-
lead pipe.
Yeah, I don't know if Pickle agrees with me as a Norse coach.
No, I mean, I would say I have fallen into the like the trap of being too concerned about, like, you don't want to engage too much and risk just like blowing up. And I think that cost me some games last season. I'm hoping I've sort of trained myself out of it through by way of the postseason punch up, but we'll see how it shapes up this season.
Of course. Inducements wise, both teams have a little bit of cash they need to burn real quick. Both of them sitting on 190 and 180k.
I was trying to figure out why it was that King Fu had such a relatively low TV, given that he and I have similarly developed teams. I realized it's the Ulf being out this game. So Lead Pipe won't get the wizard against Fu that he had against me. That fireball of
Pain.
yeah.
Once you subtract 40k, unless Lead Pipe picks up another lineman, which wouldn't be too surprising for a Brett team.
Yeah.
I think two things I want to see from King Fu in this matchup is more liberal use of that Berserker, and just put the Yeti on the damn line.
Put it on the line, man.
Nah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
On offense.
What's that?
At least on offense.
Oh, yeah.
And on defense.
Oh, on offense, yeah, absolutely. The Yeti is on there taking the third of the line hits. You don't hit with it first, but absolutely, it's.
You don't even necessarily have to hit with it at all either, too, if you put a couple extra guys on the line.
Yeah.
But having it there in case something happens, at least he's already tied up to someone.
Yep.
Lead Pipe does mention that King Fu warned him he'll be using palm indiscriminately. Always terrifying to hear, let me tell you.
Yes.
I think I was very lucky to get out of that match relatively unscathed.
Oh, for sure. It could have easily blown up against you.
Yeah, I don't think, like, knock on wood, I don't think this Amazon team of mine has lost a player yet.
I hope you're ready.
Yeah, I'm going up against orcs this week, so.
Yeah. One thing I do want to mention is, in terms of guard, the only guard King Fu has is on his guard Ulf versus 3 guard blockers for, for Lead Pipe. That's gonna play a pretty, I think, a significant role in the punching aspect.
Yeah.
And the one thing Norse don't want to hear is that they're gonna get punched, because every punch is a 8+ away from death.
On the flip side, we've got that strength 4 runner though.
Oh yeah, strength 4 means that runner will have a 2 die against everything on Lead Pipe's team. Same with the Ulf and the Yeti. All 4 pieces don't need assists in order to punch everything on Lead Pipe team.
Yeah.
But on the flip side again, Lead Pipe does have 4 Dauntless pieces that will let him punch those strength pieces.
Hopefully.
Not necessarily with relative ease, but it is an option he'll have to combat King Fu.
And then on the flip side again, he does have enough tackle to deal with the blitzers. King Fu, that is, dealing with Lead Pipe's blitzers.
That Berserker,
Yeah,
once again, that Berserker going to be a key piece in it. So.
Yeah, the tackle on both the Berserkers and Alino, it's like that's pretty solid for the blitzers. The linemen on the peasants on the Brett side, I gotta say, as a Norse player, like having your frenzy pieces not be able to frenzy through his, like, not be able to take the double hits on the weakest targets, it's kind of a bummer. Like,
especially because they're armor 7.
Right, you want to be able to chase those guys down, get them off the field, like, and they just don't go off the field quite as easily as they ought to. but
Until they do.
until they do, yeah.
Totally.
I don't know. I think this one's King Fu's if he plays it aggressively
I
enough.
for King Fu to redeem himself this week as well.
Mhm. Yeah, if it comes down to pure aggression, Lead Pipe's gonna have a lot of angry naked men on his hands.
And there's a good chance that Ulf injury is a blessing in disguise in this one.
Yep, that's too. That too for sure. But I think I'd agree. King Fu has a little bit of an edge in this match.
There's some equal signs I see in the spreadsheet now.
Nope, never an equal sign.
Nope. We never call draws. It's either you win or you lose.
Oh, the one with orc and beans, it looked like. It might be a little blurry in the...
Oh yeah, that could be. Nope, it's definitely a. It's a full call. All right, so we've got you and Super Jail.
Very close TV in this matchup.
Yep.
For the most part, simply by virtue of the guard piece being out this game for Valia. One thing, let's see. Looking at Super Gel, Super Gel, it seems like has had a tough time getting development going on their team.
Yeah.
Definitely, probably why they kept these armor busted pieces, to try to keep something going on
Money
the board.
short, yeah. Yeah, I see a total cash earned of 530k.
Yeah, that's.
That's not great at this.
Out of 12 games is pretty low.
So I think that's why we see all the injured pieces.
And in this case, Billions has 2 guards and 3 mighty blows. Does have a block troll, which is super nice. Definitely a super nice pickup for them. Versus Valia's only 3 guards since the guard piece is out.
Yep, it is 3 now.
Valia does have 2 agi units, very nice, and unfortunately for Billions, he's gonna have a hard time fishing for pals in this matchup because he has no tackle whatsoever.
Yeah, I think this is one that Billions is going to struggle on. Just seems like his team has not gotten the development that he would need to
really help in this match.
Yeah.
As well as no kickoff return on his thrower, which is a pretty big orc play.
Oh yeah, because movement 5 stinks.
Yep. And I have kickers, well, I can kick it away from that guy pretty.
Yeah.
As a human coach, movement 6 sucks, so seeing movement 5 is bleh.
I think I've played enough Chaos back in the day that I'm just kind of okay with movement 6, but anything less than that is kind of scary to me.
Really slow.
Yeah, 5 and 4 and
bleh.
God forbid 3 just feels terrible at times.
Movement 3 mummies. Bleh.
Trees
don't move.
Busted black orcs.
This is a really uphill battle for Billions for sure. Super Jail. I'd personally give it to Valia by virtue of having a much more developed team. And by the fact that with no tackle, Billions is going to have a really hard time finding the pals he needs to turn this into a favorable match.
And not just that, but I'm going to be fielding almost a full blodge. Lineup.
Yep, that is the other thing, is having full blodge is going to help in staying up as well. So literally the only thing he can get you down on is on a 6, and they come and they go.
Yep. I think that I'll have one non-block piece on the field beginning this game, and that's only because the catcher got injured.
Yep.
Or no, I'll have two. I'll have two actually.
The kick piece doesn't have a block.
Yeah.
All right, I think that wraps that up nice and neat in a little bow, and takes us to our last match, which is scheduled for 5th, which is tomorrow as well. Or wait, no, yeah, we're in Thursday now. The time, the day changed. That is scheduled for tomorrow, which is Friday
Yep.
at 12 UTC. So that would be 8 a.m. my time. That's crazy. Very early match. 8 a.m. and then 10 p.m. for Lofty. Very
That a
early game.
large mummy I see?
Wait, did you just say blodge? That is a blodge mummy.
That's a
What the-
blodge mummy.
Holy.
That's Major would be envious of this mummy. 2 doubles? You're crazy. Hey, Big Gay, you're late. I definitely expect when that mummy levels up again, break tackle, that mummy will be unstoppable.
What are you talking about? It's sure hands. It's another double.
That's actually a crazy mummy. That's a very good mummy.
I fully expect, though, in actuality, for that just to be a blodge guard piece.
Oh yeah, it's probably going to be guard first, but break tackle is definitely a pickup I would highly consider. Yeah, Heldrum says break tackle and stand firm. Guard eventually will be super nice too. That mummy will not be pushed over in most cases. Tackle white. A guard ghoul is very interesting to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, you don't really want to be putting the
No.
ghouls on.
I mean,
It gives you
blodge
a
is
more
very
ghoul
safe.
setup, so I don't actually hate it.
Oh, I don't hate it either. Because I mean, there's not much else you'd really take on a doubles for a ghoul.
And just because it's a guard piece doesn't mean you need to bring it in all the time.
Right.
This is very much a piece that could play as a safety.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the turn that you're going to try to break into that cage, you kind of just bring the ghoul over.
I would call this in a similar way that I use my I have a strength 2 guard piece on my team on my catcher.
Yeah, your catcher.
It's basically it's a mobile guard piece, which is very nice to have in a lot of cases, believe it or not.
I mean, that is my only guard piece is on a runner, so I'm with you on that. Like,
Yeah,
having
being
mobile
able to
guard
move
is helpful.
and it having dodge means without tackle, which Zon
Any-
Fishing definitely has, that piece is a little harder to push over in general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I don't
the
hate
other thing
the
to look at is,
so
is now that he has the 2 guard pieces too, is he can always set up for the anti-cage dive.
Yep, that is a big thing as well, especially against Amazon.
Because yeah, they can get in there pretty. They can't really dive in, but they can swarm in, and having the guard pieces on either corner
It'll
can
help
kind
a
of
lot for
deter
sure.
the swarm a
Yeah.
little bit.
Right.
So Heldrum's he's only got 2 tackle pieces.
Mhm.
On the other hand, Lofty does not have a lot of blocks, so certainly not
Yeah.
he's not as blodge heavy as your team, Valia.
He does have 2 wrestle pieces though.
True.
And a movement up thrower and a strength up catcher is super nice, in my opinion. He's got 3 guard on the team, so he kind of has a slight guard advantage in this case.
The wrestle on the catcher is interesting too.
Mhm.
As my idea with catchers is usually making them blodge steppers,
Mhm.
because they're one of your only pieces that can naturally go that way without rolling doubles. That is. So getting the wrestle in there is kind of some interesting development.
I like it. I did a similar thing with
I like
my
it on the
catcher.
lineman.
I gotcha. I guess, yeah, you probably want the catcher to kind of try to stand and be available.
So
And then
it's,
make like a line woman. Since they're only movement 6, that's kind
yeah,
of the
and
big
they don't
thing.
start with your block. Usually your line woman becomes kind of your rackler, one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I have one, but it's stalled. I haven't been able to get that second level on it.
Right.
And I haven't really had many games lately where I've been able to hand off to whoever I want.
Just so you know, Massacre, it's not actually that much bench. It's only a 12-person team. They just did that thing where they put the line people on
No,
the
the
bottom of the list and everything else on the top. So
undead
there's a
have
gap
14 now.
between 10 and 11.
I think the undead have
Un-
14. Yeah.
14 on the undead, yeah.
They do have a lot of bench. I will
I
mention
think
that.
with number advantage and the dirty player.
Oh,
and that
you're
cranky-
definitely going to see fouls. Definitely, if he can knock over some of these pieces, he's definitely going to take the foul just to remove pieces, because that's definitely going to be a slight challenge for Heldrum in this matchup.
Yeah,
With the only 2 tackle, and one of the tackle pieces is it's on a zombie that's movement 4, so not necessarily the hardest piece to get away from.
Yeah, you don't want to have to knock the Zons over twice. That's, I think,
Exactly.
the real key there.
Yeah, for sure. And then Lofty in general, I'd say his Amazon team is pretty nice, especially with like a strength up catcher. Having
Yeah,
a strength
no.
4 and a movement up thrower is super nice. Movement
Yeah, the
7.
movement up thrower is really good. It's
Just
for me
missing
personally.
just missing the block.
Yep. For me personally, it's like one of the only pieces that I consider the movement up on.
Mhm.
But that's kind of personal taste. I think I get one on maybe my killer to do, but
Oh, yeah. Having a mobile killer is always nice.
yep, a sideline to sideline killer, because that's what movement 7 gets you.
Hmm.
You could now put them in the middle of the field, and they can get pretty much anywhere with a little extra movement.
Right. I wouldn't be too surprised if Lofty sacked the block fend piece with the agility bust. Not the best thing to
No,
hold
but on
on
the
to.
flip side, my thought on that is it's a damn good line of
Oh.
scrimmage piece still.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Just have it there.
Yeah.
If it dies,
When it breaks,
dies.
it breaks. Yep. And if it doesn't, it's one piece that you probably have up at the beginning. I do the same thing with my Balaj Fend. I put them on the line,
Mhm.
especially to protect some of my rookie line women.
Mhm.
It sounds kind of silly, but at the same point, in
I
some
mean, hey,
matches, you're just hoping not to break.
yeah,
So having a piece that's a little less likely to break or get frenzied or followed up frees
Yeah.
you up a swarm later.
for sure. One thing Heldrum's gonna have to keep in mind is that mighty blow tackle piece blitzer on Lofty's side. So he's gonna have to be a little careful with his ghoul placement. Not having an APO to save those ghouls is always scary. It's a very spooky place to be.
For all I like how both these teams are developing.
Oh yeah, they're both these teams are pretty strong teams in general. Both of these coaches were playoff coaches too.
Yeah, and
So
I was
it's
happy
like,
to get my game with Heldrum out early.
yeah, before he got the frickin' Blodge mummy.
And I don't think he had. I don't think there was a level on either of his whites at the time either, so I didn't have to deal with that.
Yeah, I can say I'm not looking forward to facing Heldrum in the future, which isn't too far off.
I'm
He's developing nice.
I'm up against him next week after Big A. I'm like just I'm sort of hoping I have a team left after the two of them back to back.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, overall, this match is it's another case of it seems pretty close in general. Inducements wise, we're seeing a difference of 70K,
Yeah.
or like somebody like changing, like buying something. I don't think. Actually, they're not buying. They're not buying anything. They're broke. They're both
Yeah.
broke.
I'm gonna
And
go ahead.
go ahead.
I think I like Heldrum in this one.
I was thinking Heldrum too.
Yeah, I kind of like Heldrum in this.
I think he's a
Although
little.
I have a little hunch that I think Lofty's going to take this, but majority rules.
Oh yeah, this is one that's really close. There's no clear cut.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
don't call draw.
Yeah. The way I was looking at it when these close is which team would I rather field? And even though I'm an Amazon coach, I would rather field the team with a bench. A much larger bench, that is.
Yep.
Well, that's everybody, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the lot.
Oof. This is we got some exciting games.
Yeah.
This I'm gonna be saying that every week. What am I saying?
I mean,
We have
yeah.
a tight division or two here.
I definitely like the coaches I ended up in with. Very like I said to my mentor, I really wanted to land in a division with strong coaches, and I definitely got my wish. For better or for worse.
Yeah, Big A. I hope you don't.
Yeah. No, he's never gonna see guard on any of those blorks. Watch it happen. If he's gonna go to playoffs, those blorks are gonna be the exact same.
Or
Then
a
it'd
couple
be-
of them could die.
I was gonna say
Just
maybe he'll Kaz someone with one of his blorks, and then my Yeti will get it, and we'll just
Before the level up, he rolls
right,
away.
exactly. Taunt him with the level up, and then kill it off.
and they kill it off. Oh man, that would be the kick. That'd be a good kicker. I would laugh. Like that's what.
Yeah,
you
no,
get,
it's Heldrum for sure. It's the pieces you want to level sometimes just don't want to get there.
No.
I've
Yeah.
I've wanted a Rackle line woman for a while, and I just can't ever get an opportunity to do anything with her, even our free hits. I've had so many games where it's like a turn 16, and I'll blitz with her over anyone else, just looking to maybe get that 2 SPP in there, or that vanity pass. But she just doesn't want to do it.
No, yeah, I feel that it took forever before I finally got my first mighty blow piece on my human team. Just it was forever, and then when I finally got him, he just started killing everything. Like I
Yeah,
remember in my match versus Lead Pipe, I just like I literally removed most of his team with that one piece. Like it came down to we were in postseason punch up together. I literally got him down to like 2 players left on the field. With that mighty blow piece by himself, with no tackle at the time, too. It was pretty crazy. There's just like a point in punching someone that you just kind of feel bad you're punching them. I'm sure you guys can't relate.
I don't think I've had a game like that with this Norse team, but there was a spin game with another Norse with a Norse team where I was playing against a Dark Elves, and they I think it was a pitch invasion that knocked out over one of their witches, and I think I fouled it off the field. I think I killed it with a foul, and then proceeded to just beat up on the rest of the team for the entire game, and I felt bad on that one. But sadly, my college team has not been quite so successful.
We had a turn 1 pitch invasion in Spin League. I had a couple months back here. Turn 1 pitch invasion, 22 players on the field. 22 players still standing. I was still trying to figure out the odds of that one.
Yeah, that's...
Not a single one was rolled. Or 6, I can't remember which way it goes in that one.
Oh.
But it was 22 dives, and everyone was just still there like nothing happened. I think if you scroll far enough up in Blood Bowl chat, I even had a screen cap of it, of just all the dice rolls.
All right, that wraps up the recap then.
Yep. Thanks for coming on, Valia.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Maybe we'll
Nice
find a better
change.
rhythm next time.
Yeah, it's always
It
a little
takes-
always a little tricky with more people.
Mhm.
And with it being Twitch chat, you can't read body language too. Or
Yeah.
voice chat, rather.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it was just a casual game with a friend of mine in Spin League, and it just 22 die rolls, not a single one.
That's very nice.
I feel like I'm now owed a game in the future where there's going to be a pitch invasion. It's just going to be 11 of my guys all go down.
That's it's only actually I like just ran the math, and it's only like a 90. It's like a 1 in 100 shot, 2 in 100. So
So maybe it's not as bad as I thought.
yeah, I mean
Yeah,
you've had I mean you've only played like what, a couple hundred spin games, but probably not a couple hundred pitch invasions. So that's a
no,
separate.
not a couple hundred pitch invasions. I might have quit the game long before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen my fair share of coaches, that's for sure. Yeah, no problem, Helgrim. Hopefully I have time next week too.
Yeah, it'd
Can't
be
wait
nice.
to play third you too. Also, I'm looking forward to it.
I highly recommend checking out your section, Big A. I definitely gave everybody anti-Big A tip. So, the
I'm just waiting
secret
for. I'm pretty sure if I beat Big A, like, and it's a pretty big if, it's hard to beat orcs. But if I do, I'm waiting for a moose to start giving anti-Valia advice instead.
Oh no, that's pretty easy. You see, what you do against Amazons is you kill them. That's my anti-Amazon advice. They're armor 7. They're weak. You just kill them. It's that easy.
It doesn't work against orcs.
No, they're armor 9. You can't kill orcs. Which is funny because that niggled black orc that Big A has actually came from our college game. It was just a random cast by my thrower Pete at the time. Just punched it over.
Yeah, for sure, Big A. You went further than I did back in my day. I lost the first round of playoffs.
Yeah. I did too. I lost the first round of playoff. It was the hardest match I've ever had against a very developed Dark Elf team. Like, we went into overtime, and like I think we were halfway through overtime, and he managed to score and win.
Yeah, I think I lost mine like 3-0 to Skaven. It was just not good. Yeah, orcs are tough, man. There's not a lot of teams that deal with them super well.
At least not early on.
Not early on, yeah.
Yeah.
The one team I can think of off the top of my head is like lizards. Lizards and orcs. Yeah, lizards and orcs kind of just butt heads early on.
It comes down to, can the orcs get skanked kind of deal.
Yeah, and the skinks just kind of tend to like to run away.
It's gone. Orcs can't keep up with movement 8.
All right, gents. I'm about to fall asleep on my feet here. So I'm gonna call the stream.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yep, have a good night, y'all.
Take care, everyone.